Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. Dateline Pittsburgh. A man pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct and was fined $300 for pretending to be two different Pittsburgh Steelers players. Fined $300. It was worth it. Brian Jackson of Brentwood, Pennsylvania, pretended to be quarterbacks Ben Roethlisberger and Brian St. Pierre to two women so he could date them, authorities said. Yeah, I love this. Jackson gave one of the women a signed football and even signed Roethlisberger's name on a Steelers jersey owned by the woman's neighbor. He was arrested in July. A judge accepted Jackson's plea deal to a reduced charge Monday because Jackson completed a psychological evaluation and has stayed away from his accusers. Because you're always looking for new meat. Why would you go back there again? Not a stalker. He's trying to get laid. Now, you know that the professor, many of you are new to the program, you know the professor on this program has told you to say whatever you have to say to get laid. I mean, do what you have to do. Poof, you're a doctor. Poof, you're a screenwriter. Poof, you're an attorney. Poof, you're a plastic surgeon. She gets turned on by uniforms. Poof, you're a CHP officer. Poof. You be whatever she needs you to be. Whatever works. Poof, you're a Playboy photographer. Poof. We told you at one time how to pretend to be a hockey player. We gave you step-by-step instructions how to walk into a bar and say you're a hockey player. Poof. I mean, come on, the average guy can't tell you who's on the third line of the Tampa Bay Lightning. You could be that guy. You could be any one of those guys. You're right, Dean. Years ago, when my brother came and stayed with me here in Los Angeles, in my home, Laurel Canyon, he was intimidated because of the level of hot chicks that we have here in L.A. He wanted to go out at night and wanted to know how to meet hot chicks. And I said, well, tell him you're a screenwriter. And he said, but what happens when they find out I'm not a screenwriter? I said, you're not marrying them. You're just trying to get laid. You're at a club at 11:30 at night. You say you're a screenwriter. What are they going to do, call DreamWorks and check on it? They call Warner Brothers to see if you really have a development deal? By the time they find out you're not a screenwriter, you've already seen them naked. Who cares at that point? If a woman is having sex with you because you're a screenwriter, they deserve what they get. Later that evening, about 1:30 a.m., my brother called me from this nightclub on Hollywood Boulevard. And he told me that he had a new problem. There were 6 women following him out of the place. 6. And he didn't know how to get rid of them. So he needed more advice. Is this true? 2 guys we know, I won't say who they are because I don't want to get them busted. 2 guys we know were in Vegas. And they told chicks there that Entourage is going to be making some cast changes this fall, and they're going to be in the new episodes of Entourage next season. Or next summer, I guess it'll come on. How great is that? So they got laid? Wow. Wow. You just say what you have to say. Do what you have to do. $300 fine is a small price to pay if you ever get caught. I mean, the idea is not to be doing this over a sustained period of time with people in your neighborhood. The idea is to go to a club like in Vegas or just any nightclub where you're meeting complete strangers. Be whoever you need to be for a night. Get what you need and then get the hell out before they find out. My eyes, nothing wrong with that. Now, I'm willing to bet there are those of you out there who have pulled this stunt. Southern California is a particularly fertile ground for this because you know how many celebrities live here. It's easy to pretend to be any number of people. And you don't even have to pretend to be celebrities. I mean, you can pretend to be the director of a film. How many women know what Ridley Scott looks like? How many women know that? You go up to a chick, hey, did you see Blade Runner? Yeah, I'm Ridley Scott. How many women know the name of the, director of programming for CBS? Does anybody know? Come on. Please. Now it's you. I mean, seriously, you can be anybody. Women just go gaga for this stuff. Stop telling women you fix toilet bowls for a living, or that you're a cashier at QFC, or you're a cashier at Food for Less. Stop. Do they even have cashiers at Food for Less anymore? I don't think so. All right, Ralph's. Stop telling them that. Start spicing it up, boys. It's all about fantasy. All's fair in love and war, and especially sex. And sex is war. Women want to keep their vaginas away from you as long as they can and get as many free drinks, free meals, free trips out of you as they can before they give it up. And you want to keep them from getting your money. You want to get their vagina as early as you possibly can, with as little interference as possible. It's war. I'll tell you what, every woman who says, what do you think I do, sleep around? I don't sleep around. Everyone who does that, every woman who says I don't sleep around, will sleep with the right guy on short notice. Any woman who says she can't have sex with you the first night because she doesn't sleep around has slept with somebody the first night who wasn't you. He might have been a musician. He might have been an actor. He might have been a male model. He might have been 22 and she was 35 or whatever, but I'm telling you, every woman who says she doesn't sleep around has nailed somebody the first night or been nailed by somebody the first night who they thought warranted it. Bottom line, Hall of Fame, baseball player, whatever. Hey, everybody has exceptions to their own rules. Believe you me. Telling you. So what's wrong with pretending to be somebody you're not? To get laid. Who have you pretended to be in order to get laid?
Tom Leykis.
Woof.
Tom Leykis.
Woof.
800 5800 Tom.
What's the good word today?
Boobs. Boobs are back.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Show 1-800-5800-TOM. All right, who did you pretend to be in order to get laid? Let's say hello to Jason on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Jason.
Well, it's a funny story. I was in a bar in Austin, Texas. A girl walks up to me and says, "You look a lot like Jeff Foxworthy." I said, "Just so happens I am." Dude, she was drunk. She ate it hook, line, and sinker. I played it off through most of the night. She hung all over me. I just kind of wouldn't really give her two looks. Next thing I know, she was all in my pants. It was awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that.
I was out of there the next day, back in Abilene, just loving it, dude. Telling everybody at work. It was absolutely great.
But your neck was red for a different reason.
By God.
Thank you for that, Jason.
You betcha, buddy.
Appreciate that call. 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Brett on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, buddy, what's up?
Not much, Brett.
I don't know if I'm sure you don't remember this. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. You had a party up on Queen Anne in Seattle, and you just had, you had a band that you really liked that played there, and it wasn't anything special. It wasn't a listener party. It was just you invited people to come up and have drinks. And I sat to the closest table next to you just for this particular reason. Because I always hear you say Brett in the background, this Brett guy that works for you.
Yeah, Brett is our engineer, yeah.
Right, and so this, total hot smoking chick was sitting by us, and I just go, I'm Brett from the show. And she's like, really? And I went over to you, and I was like, dude, you got to help me out with this. You got to play along. And he's like, you told me, you're like, yeah, I'll play along. And I told her, I said, you know, I'll let you meet Tom, and you signed her rack and everything. It was totally hilarious. And then after that whole thing, she's just like, oh, so I don't know. I mean, you guys like to play with girls and all this. And I said, no, here, I'll show you. And I showed her my ID, and, it said Brett on there, and she was just like, oh, God, and totally did her that night.
Wow.
And but after being on the Internet and looking and see what Brett looks like, man, I never would have got away with it then.
I mean, that's the thing. It's radio. You don't know what anybody looks like.
Yeah. I'm telling you. And the funniest thing is that, I mean, she was so interested in the fact that I was part of the show that it wouldn't matter if, nothing would matter. I mean, she was buying us drinks.
Over the years, I've tried to explain this to women. There are women who think, even when they meet me, and I've got money, power, and fame, as you know, there are women who meet me, and they act like they have the last vagina on earth, and I should bow down and worship them, and I'm lucky to have them, and whatever. They do not understand, and you've learned it firsthand. They do not understand what women will do to get close to money, power, and fame.
It was unbelievable because, she kept looking over, and I kept going, do you want to meet him? Do you want to meet him? I mean, I could hook you up, She thought that I was King Tut, man. She was just like, you mean, so you can just go over there and he'll talk to me? And I'm like, sure. And, of course, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know because you were just kind of sitting by yourself and enjoying the music and stuff. But, man, you totally helped me get laid that night. I really appreciate it.
See, I do that for all my boys. And that's it.
Just because.
And she got what she deserved. If she slept with you because she thought you were Brett Abbott, the engineer from our show,
right,
then she deserved what she got.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Now, if only Brett Abbott came on the road with us, he'd see what he'd be missing, because...
The best part of it is that she's like, well, why do you... license if you're from L.A.? And I go, I have 2 residences. That's how much Tom pays us. Come on. Take me out old school, buddy.
Here you go, Brett. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. What have you pretended to be in order to get laid? It's Stacy. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
I'm okay, Stacy. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Sometimes when we go out, me and my girlfriends, I act like I'm a foreign exchange student.
Why do you do that?
It's just fun because you can get a little kinky with the guys, and they definitely get off on it because of the fact that they think you're from somewhere else.
Wow.
I like to do it, use an accent, and I switch it up different nights. It's fun.
I see, but you don't need to do this to get laid.
No.
Now, see, a lot of these guys, like, they're at their wits' end trying to chat up chicks. So
yeah, it's fun. It's, guys get psyched when they meet someone from a different, place in the world. And
really? What countries have you claimed to be from?
From France, Italy, Cuba. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And they buy in every time?
Yeah, pretty much. It's fun. My girlfriends sneak into stuff, too, because they have a hard time getting laid, so they sometimes sneak into lying about who they are, their occupation, so that they can get effed.
Wow, look at that.
Pretty funny. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Now, have you ever been with a guy who lied to you and you figured it out?
Yeah, definitely.
What have they pretended to be?
You're basic, like a writer, a Hollywood producer, stuff like that, which I really could care less. They were hot, so...
Right, you would have done them anyway.
Basically, even if they were like you said, the guy who works at Walmart. Tom, you're the best. I'll talk to you.
Thank you, Stacy. It's Kenny on the Tom Leykis Show.
What's up, Tom?
Not much, Kenny.
I did everything you taught me, and it worked. I told my boy, we're going to Vegas, take a suit, we're going to go to a bar, follow my lead, sit at the bar, don't start a conversation. Just kick it, me and you talk like we're busy.
Look at that.
And then girls will come up to us, right? Girls will come up to us saying, what's up, our deal? Well, I said that we own one of the biggest trucking companies in California, which I already am in the business, but it's not as big as I made it sound,
Uh-huh.
Just to get... Well, little time went by, we ran into a bachelorette party. dude, we had one of the best times of our lives, and everything because of you. We followed your rules. You know, I told them, don't talk to nobody. Just sit down at the bar. When girls walk up to us, you know, just pretend we're busy and then follow my lead. And I told them we're going to be we're partners in a big trucking company out here in California. Dude, the ladies loved it. They thought we were rich because we were in our suits. And pretty much everything was fun from there on.
So you put that buck in the net?
Oh, dude. The only reason we didn't do the girl who was getting married because she was fat, but her friends are good looking, dude. All her friends are nice. You know, she was fat, so we didn't really care about her. But we know like two of the friends that night. We pretty switched off. It was pretty good.
Love that.
Thank you, Tom. Can you blow me up, dude?
Of course I can, Kenny. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, Mike.
I'm caller.
Cool.
I had to call you on this story. I've got a group of guys, and what we do is we get together and we actually come up with characters and bodyguards, you know, because we're all different sizes and looks. And we actually have gone to L.A., we've gone to Vegas, Seattle, and what we do is we go to clubs, and one guy is going to be the celebrity for the night. Like we've done Jeremy McGrath, Miguel Tejada, and all the other guys stand up and they, you know, pull the bodyguard scene. And, of course, it just pulls in all kinds of eyes and girls. Next thing you know, girls are coming up asking who's that or something. One of the guys will say go to the bathroom, you know, and a girl will catch him on the way coming out. And who's that? Oh, that's, you know, Jeremy McGrath. Or, you know, we do snowboarders, skateboarders. And next thing you know, we've got 5, 6 women, hot, beautiful women. I mean, we've gotten more tell this way. And it's just great. It's just great. We sit down and we plan something out, figure what we're going to do, and everybody kind of just pulls in their money, right, and just gives it to the guy who's playing the role. So he pulls out these big wads of cash, you know, and nobody's knowing, you know, really where the money's coming from. And party, next thing you know, we're all in hotels, and everybody's just getting tell.
Wow.
Oh, it's great, and it works every time. Every time. I mean, we've pulled, I mean, you name it, snowboarders, bicyclists, motocross riders, baseball players, you know, and I think the selling point on it is just you get 4 or 5 of these huge guys just kind of standing around you, and you're sitting at the table maybe with a close buddy, and it just attracts attention. And I'm telling you, hot chicks just melt over that.
I'll bet they do, and the great thing is that a lot of these guys are really not as obvious as other celebrities you could pretend to be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, not at all. Especially that's why, you know, we try to, you know, do stuff like people who motocross, you know, they got their helmets on. Not everybody's going to know what they look like or who they are, but they know the names, you know, or snowboarders or just a lot of the current, you know, X-game type trends that a lot of the people are into. And it's great. Best way to get tell.
Sounds good to me, Mike. Thanks for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Eric on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, you know, Tom, I just wanted to say that the guy who started all this, the only reason why he only got a $300 fine is because he was signing somebody else's name, not because he was pretending to be someone to get, you know, laid.
Yeah.
If he didn't sign their name, he wouldn't have been getting fined. You know, other than that, I think he was doing great. So, hey, look, you know, I just finished doing surgery, and I got to get to the golf course because the tournament starts tomorrow. And if I don't make the cut, I need to get to the studio to film my new music video, all right? So, you know, I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
All right, very good. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Alexis on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Daddy.
How you doing there?
Sweet.
Okay.
How about you?
Great.
I love these guys that do this trick, and it works 9 times out of 10. The only thing they have to be careful of, they need to do a little bit of research before they go out and play another character. I was in Long Beach a couple years ago. Big, tall, black guy comes forth, and he's like, yeah, I play for the Clippers, his buddies, you know, being his wingman and et cetera. The Clippers were playing that night. He claimed to be Jackson.
Well, it's very rare you meet a woman who knows anything about sports, much less what nights the Clippers are playing.
Well, you know, you figure most nights. See, I'm basically your sidekick as a female. I ride motocross, I ride horses, love the Red Wings, play sports. So you just have to watch what you're going for.
Wow.
That's all.
And you're hot?
You actually signed my rack years ago in Huntington Beach and said I had one of the best natural 34Ds you've ever seen.
Oh, I remember that. You know what? I remember it.
Down on Main Street in Huntington Beach. And
It
you know
was
what?
November. I got to tell you what it was. It was November of 1998. I remember.
Love everything about that, Tom. Thank you so much, sweetie.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Who did you pretend to be to get laid? James, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
All right, I
was in Chicago for a trade show a few years ago and went out boozing with a couple buddies of mine and went down to the Chicago strip joint. Now, we're standing in there, and we kind of barged through, and my other buddy, I can see him talking to the bouncer in the back.
Right.
Now, I kind of look like John Travolta a little bit, and I can see he's talking to my buddy, and they start pointing, and they start moving around, and we're standing there, and there's no tables to go anywhere. Well, all of a sudden, 3 of the biggest bouncers and about 20 of the most gorgeous strippers show up in front of us. They take us to the front of the stage, toss these poor bastards out of the where they were sitting, sit us down, and bring us free booze, and then sit there and drop about 10 of these strippers in front of us. So they're asking us, what are we doing in town? I said, well, we're kind of here recruiting for a picture. And they said, oh, really? Is John coming? I said, yeah, he'll be here in a little while, but probably a couple of weeks from now. But we're here just doing a little bit of pre-screening for him now. Well, they take us and they bring us up to the private lounge upstairs for a little more booze and a few more girls up there. And at the end of the night, they call a stretch limousine for us to take us home.
Wow, wow, wow.
Just for being John Travolta's brother. How many not even John Travolta, his brother?
I don't even know if he has a brother.
I don't even know either, but it sounded good at the time.
Sounded good to me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I can't believe that men are so concentrated on women's appearance. I mean, come on.
Are you just finding this out now?
No, but to hear it on your show is, like, appalling.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles. It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. AJ in San Diego, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, it's great to hear you in San Diego, man. I drive up to Orange County just to get my fix for work, and then I come back down, and I'm no Tom, so I'm glad to hear you down here.
Thank you, AJ.
Well, my total bash is artist relations for Fender guitars. And
who could ever check that?
Well, not just that, but I got just like the guy that went to Vegas with with his buddy in his suit. I'd get 3 or 4 of my friends. We'd get dressed up. We'd wait to see when there's like Aerosmith's in town or Blink-182, Green Day, whatever. And my pop has a music store on top of it. So what I'll do is a guitar that's left at the shop that for repairs that no one picks up. It's a beat-up old guitar. We'll just sign it with a Sharpie with Tom DeLonge from Blink-182 or whatever, and have it on a guitar and bring it in the car. I'm like, yeah, we just got back from the show. You want to come with us? We're going to go for the after party. And they're totally expecting to hook up with the musicians, but by that time they're so blitz wasted it doesn't matter. And we got our bodyguard set up and everything.
Wow.
And
that's a good one.
Every time.
Sounds good to me, AJ. Thanks a lot for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Julie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
This is just getting worse and worse as I listen. I'm driving into L.A. right now, and I'm thinking, this is how everyone in L.A. is, and this is not helping.
Well, first of all, Julie, this is not just L.A. These calls are coming. We're on in 45 or 50 markets.
This is crazy. I'll tell you what. I once met a guy nice guy, and he's like, I'm the snowboarder. He's like known in L.A. to be a liar, and he was such a loser. Now we check business cards. So women check business cards, and I just can't believe that people have to lie to get laid. I think it's...
By the way, there are guys who print business cards. We've talked about that on the program. And it's so easy to do now because you can take company logos off their websites and put it on the business card.
What happens if they actually want to talk to the girl again? They're going to get caught. I don't understand.
These are not guys who are looking to talk to the girl again. These are hit and run artists.
Well, these girls are Well, that's.
I think if they would sleep with somebody because he's a lawyer or because he's John Travolta's brother or whatever, they're getting exactly what they deserve.
I agree with you. I do agree that. I see that. Good point. But I just say, guys, don't lie. Don't lie to.
It works.
Everyone.
But it works.
Maybe in Vegas, but.
Yeah, there are these uppity women who I only date doctors and lawyers. I don't date anybody but professionals.
I agree, women.
Poof! I'm a doctor.
They shouldn't even ask.
Just call me Dr. Lycus, huh?
You can get laid at night without knowing what people do. I could say.
Women always ask what men do because they try to gauge how much income we have.
But we have our own money. I have my own money. I don't need a.
There, I'm telling you, how many women have you dated?
How many women have I dated?
Right.
None.
All right. I'm telling you, when you go to a bar or a club, darling, when you go to a bar or a club, and it's not just L.A., and you're standing there having a drink with a chick, it's one of the first questions she asks.
I'll tell you what, if the first question someone asks me is, what do you do? I walk the other way. Because I probably have more money than them, so I don't even want to answer that question.
Well, guess what? If you were a man, you'd be walking away a lot because that's mostly what women want to know. They get right down to business. And they ask other questions designed to elicit financial information, like what zip code you live in or what car you drive. They're not asking for idle curiosity. They're doing a mental net worth statement. That's what they're doing.
Whatever happened to the powerful women in the world? I know a bunch of...
Dear, there are not that many powerful women, and most powerful women are not attractive enough to have sex with.
Well, most of them don't want to have sex with losers. That's probably true.
No, that's not what I said, dear. Don't pretend you didn't hear what I said. Most attractive women are not... I'm sorry, most powerful women are not attractive enough to have sex with. That's why they're powerful. They don't get hung up on wasting time on going away for the weekend with their boyfriend or, playing with their kids at home, because a lot of them are not married because they work a lot of hours. They don't have any time for a personal life, and guys have no patience for that.
But they're also the girls, my friends and I are girls that live in L.A. that all make a lot of money, and there's some Playboy girls in there that actually aren't sluts, and some girls that just want to, have fun with some guys because we are busy. So
that's your group of friends, but when you're talking about the larger pool of all women.
But I'm just saying those guys could meet one of those random girls.
Yeah, but guess what, dear? We're not playing Wheel of Fortune. We're not spinning the wheel here. And the fact is that the odds are you're not going to meet a woman like that. Odds are you're going to meet the usual receptionist who thinks it's an upscale evening to go to TGI Fridays and drink margaritas, and then she's going to start asking questions about what you do for a living, what kind of car you drive.
Well, it works both ways. I just hope...
Dear, most men only ask what you do for a living to pretend to be interested in things about you other than your breasts.
Yeah, well, I have big boobs, so I'm
all right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, really, here's the question a guy wants to ask. How long do I have to stand here and talk to you before we're going back and I'm going to bang you?
That's the truth. I know it.
All right. So when a guy asks you what you do for a living, he's not trying to figure out how much money you have. He's killing time until he gets your pants off.
Well, guys, don't ask a girl what she does for a living. Ask that last, because then you know.
But the fact is, most guys don't even care what you do for a living.
But that's what I'm saying. They might have a chance to get laid even without that asking.
Dear, you're the only one who would object to that. Women love being asked that question.
Oh, my God. My friends and I hate. And
well, again, you have friends.
In L.A. I'm saying in L.A.
Dear, I'm talking about L.A. and elsewhere.
I know.
Women love it. They love it. It gives the appearance that we give a rat's ass about you, which we don't.
Well, we don't care about you guys much either.
We're not talking about you and your little group of friends or your little Sex and the City group there. We're talking about the larger pool of women, generally speaking. That's what we're talking about.
I get it.
Most women, I'm telling you, the typical woman is at Bennigan's ordering potato skins and waiting for a guy to pick up the check.
They're not. They're probably ordering a salad and potato skins, and they maybe would split the check.
What? No, that's you and your friends, dear. I'm talking about the average woman.
I get it. Are we changing traditional ways? Is that what we're saying now? That everyone has to lie?
Dear, there's a tradition of lying to get laid. Let me give you one of the examples. Guys who, just as they're about to enter you, say, I love you.
Oh, God, no.
That's a tradition of lying to get sex.
I would laugh if a guy said that to me.
It's an American tradition.
Wow. Well, it's news to my ears, but I get the other side.
There, you really ought to see how the other half lives once in a while, I'll tell you what. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello to Dawn on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Dawn.
How you doing?
Doing okay.
I just cannot figure out where all these stupid women are coming from.
By the way, I've always wondered, every time I get a call from a listener named Dawn, I always wonder if any of them have a sister named Joy.
No, actually, my sister's name is Venus.
Just Venus?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, more power to you men who can pull it over on these girls who are falling for this crap because they deserve it. They need to use their minds, go out, get an education, get a job, take care of themselves. So they
don't need to do that if they are 9s and 10s. They do not need to do that.
Well, you know, I'm not bad looking and I can take care of myself.
Well, again, dear, we're talking about the young hotties. That's who we're talking about. The 9s and 10s. They do not have to get an education. All they need to do is play their cards right, and eventually they'll have some guy showering them with condominiums, clothing, cars, and money. That's how it works.
Well, I had a rich man. I left him. And
you took the money with you?
No, I did not. I took nothing.
Really?
I took my child and my washing machine and half the stuff left him, the damn car.
And how much child support do you get out of him?
$300 a month because he said, that's what I'll give you. And I said, get a lawyer. I'll sign the papers. I don't give it.
Really?
I get a job. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I don't need a man to take care of me. Now, if I want to get laid, I can go out and get laid tonight. That's not a problem. But I don't want to have to rely on anybody.
Why do you take any money at all?
Do what?
You just said, I don't want to rely on anybody. Why do you take any money from him at all?
Because we have a child.
It doesn't matter. You said you don't need it.
It's not for me. That money goes straight into an account for him for when he goes to college.
Mm-hmm. Well, you could certainly put money in an account for him for college. You don't need to take a check from somebody else.
I could do what?
You could put that $300 in out of your own paycheck.
Yeah, I could. But it is his responsibility. It is his child.
Well, it doesn't have to be. You just said you don't need anything from him. You would have gotten a lot more out of him if you went to court.
I didn't want it.
Why not?
I wanted... Huh?
So why do you want any?
Because I want Josh to go to college.
You couldn't put that money away for him?
Yeah, I could if I didn't buy him all the other things that I do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like a car and horses and, you know, things that he earns, that he's a good kid, he gets good grades.
I understand. Well, Dawn, thank you. Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Sarah on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, how are you, Tom?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Good. All right, you're almost out of time, so I'll make it quick. I was in Westwood Village when I was 19. I picked up one of these guys. The guy claimed to be Ulysses Grant. Great, however many greats there is, grandsons.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, what an interesting thing, and that would make it okay, right? Because there would be history there, so I could sleep with him, but I made him prove it to me, so we had to go back to his place, of course, for him to prove it, and all I got, I think, was a pitcher. By that point, there was enough cocktails involved that a pitcher did it, and we did it within about 2 minutes.
And chances are, I bet he did, too, and chances are that he was not Ulysses S. Grant's great-grandson.
Oh, yeah, chances are, more than chances are, especially since I had to do the walk of shame the next morning in front of about 5 roommates, so I don't think he really was in the lineage. He went to Pet 5.
You could have asked him some questions. For example, you could have asked him who's buried in Grant's tomb.
Yeah, I could have. But 19 and drunk. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
All right, thanks.
All right, Sarah, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Eric on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, long time fan.
Thank you.
And anyways, my story's pretty badass. My life could not be better. I mean, a few years back, I weighed 220 pounds, and people always gave me the compliment, oh, you look like Oscar de la Hoya or whatnot. But who wants to be the fat version of, like, a celebrity, right? So what did I do? I just went to the gym and I worked my ass off day after day after day. I lost 50 pounds, I weigh 170 now, and any day of the week, anytime, I got it. Anywhere I go. Anywhere I go.
So now you're Oscar De La Hoya wherever you go. That is great. Tomorrow we'll be at the studios of 100.7 The Buzz in Seattle. Gary Zabransky and I coming to Seattle for a big listener party at the Phoenix Underground this Friday at 3. Doors open about 2. This Friday, Phoenix Underground. We're off to Seattle, baby!
The Tom Leykis Show.